questions. One is how many of you have LinkedIn and use it actively? And the next one is how many of you will be looking for jobs, internship, or grad school positions in this year or next? So answer
So
the
if you just want to just look for like jobs, just in general, whether it's this year, next year, should I just put like in 2021 just because I wanted to?
Yeah, it's you're like very when you start applying, when you're looking for a serious application of positions.
And hello, Professor.
Hello, how are you, Michael?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
All right, looks like everyone's voted. Do you want me to read the percentage?
Yes, stop the poll and share the result, please.
All right, perfect. Yeah. So it seems 27% of people, so 4 out of the well, it looks like another person joined, but 4 out of the 15 people have a LinkedIn and use it actively. 53% have a LinkedIn but don't use it actively, and then 20% do not have a LinkedIn. And then for the second question, 60% will be a job hunter in 2021, and then 40% will be a job hunter in 2022 or later.
All right, very good. Good information. For that, those 20% and the 53% who are not using their LinkedIn actively, I think this is going to be a good workshop for you. Everyone else, you can always improve your LinkedIn, so this must be a good opportunity. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. All right, so let's start this professional development course. In the course of the next year, I'm going to go through how to improve your LinkedIn, CV, and how to be a better person in contacting your peers on LinkedIn. First, a bit of advertisement. I'm going to teach analog signal processing next semester. If you're looking for a course that doesn't have a final exam, instead have a paper that you can put on your CV, this is the course for you. It's an online only course. And during that, we're going to work on some analog design circuit. We're going to work with Cadence, one of the best electrical engineering software. The Cadence is a software that many big companies like Apple, Intel, Microsoft have and use for their circuit design. And we are during this class, we are going to learn to fabricate small chips in 1.5 millimeter area and 180 nanometer technology. If you needed more information, you can always contact me. So first of all, why LinkedIn? Unless you're trying to join an industry that has no internet presence online, LinkedIn is a way that most of the companies get their candidates, have their positions open, and give you information on their positions. It's very important to have a strong virtual presence in the new world that we are living in, and it's very important to network while you're on LinkedIn. Unlike Tumblr, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn is a more professional website, more professional social media that you really want people to find. You may not find your Dungeons and Dragons account, but you really like people to find your LinkedIn account. As you can see, you can check your virtual presence by opening an incognito page and search your name. As you can see, in my case, when I search in an incognito window, when I search my name, the first website is from the university, my LinkedIn, my personal website. If you go down, you're just gonna see mostly professional website in the first page. If you search pictures, it's mostly me on conferences. You can check your presence, virtual presence, by opening an incognito window. If you don't know how to do this, here is the way. And you can search your name. This is the first task that we're gonna do today. So everyone do so. It says that it's not good to Google ourselves, but this is not a bad practice. Search your name and see what you found, what you're finding. If you are finding something fun, let me know too. For me, it's my conferences, my Google Scholar, my LinkedIn. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds, 45 seconds, so you can open an incognito window and search your name. Let me know or type in chat. Did you find anything weird? What did you find? Did you find your profile somewhere that people are not supposed to see? Yeah, it's my name is kind of my family name is kind of unique, so there's less chance of me finding other people. But as you go into industry and become a big name, maybe someday you are gonna be the person whose name is gonna pop up in an incognito window. So many people found other people with the same names. Daniel got the IEEE website. That's very good. Know that recruiters do search your name. Do search your name to make sure that you don't have an online embarrassment. So very good. Nothing weird found. Keep looking into images too. If you are seeing a profile that you don't want to pop up on the first page, you can change temporarily, at least until you have find a job, the name or the username of that profile. When I started job hunting, when I searched my name, my Pinterest would pop up with all the unhealthy food that I was searching for, and I changed my Pinterest username temporarily so that the recruiter don't think that I'm too greedy when it comes to food. Raisa found a YouTube video that she didn't know existed. Oh, and someone found that their address is public. Yeah, you're gonna find weird thing. You may need to try to remove the stuff that you don't want a recruiter to see, because as I said, a recruiter is gonna search your name. Apart from knowing you, LinkedIn has become the main way that recruiters get your CV. Previously, when you did try to apply for companies, many companies had their website. You would upload your PDF of a CV, and they will look into your CV. Right now, many companies do something called a quick apply through LinkedIn when they post a position. So there is no way that you can get your CV to the company besides sending your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn profiles are being used more than traditional softwares where it shows your picture, your experience, your profession, and your skill. So if you don't have a LinkedIn, you really need to start building one. In order for your LinkedIn to get more strong, you need some time pass, some connection, some conversations, you commenting on other people's posts, so you gain visibility. And when you gain visibility in LinkedIn, when recruiters have a lot of applications, yours is going to be highlighted. So even if you're planning to have job applications later this year or in 2022, it's a good idea to make your LinkedIn now. Other than having a CV, you can use LinkedIn to apply for jobs. The quick applies through LinkedIn is a very easy thing to do. It makes your job so easy that after sometimes you find yourself be reluctant to apply through websites that are not that user-friendly. and you can research prospective employers, talk to the employers of the company that you dream to work with, and connect with them. Apart from finding jobs, looking for companies, LinkedIn is a great way to get connected to a vast majority of people. It's very common to get connected to the alumni from your college, from other people. Sorry. So I was saying that LinkedIn helps a lot, can help you get connected to the alumni from your college, the peers with the same background as you, and the companies that you like to work with. That's right. I'm not talking about the people that you know, that you have met, that you have seen in conferences, but the people who are much senior than you and you have not had any contact with. It's becoming more and more common to add them, enjoy their experience. And I have heard that LinkedIn is soon gonna have something like Clubhouse, a chatting option that you can gain experience by talking to your peers. We'll cover how to network on LinkedIn in a bit. Just have in mind that this is one of the most important aspects of the LinkedIn. So first, if you have a LinkedIn or you are trying to build one, let's double check what you must have and what you must avoid. Make sure that you have spelled your name correctly when you're having your headline, and by headline, I'm meaning this portion. Try to be creative, say a lot in a few words. Don't just write down a student. Give the name of your university, give the name of your concentration in your focus in your studies. Are you a circuit designer? Are you an app developer? What are you doing? What is your passion? What are you looking for? And again, the first thing that people are gonna see looking into your profile is this headline and your picture. About the picture, there are a lot of do's and don'ts. The picture on a LinkedIn is the first thing that anyone is gonna see when they look at your profile. You should not have inappropriate attire. You should not use a poor quality photo because it just implies that you don't tend to put enough time on task. Don't use a cropped photo. If you have a good headshot, use the headshot. If not, I'm pretty sure when university goes back into face-to-face, you can get a good headshot at your professional development center and use that headshot. Don't use an outdated photo. Don't use a photo that you look like very young in. People may tend to, many recruiters just choose based on photo. Does the person looks friendly? Does they look professional? Have they done a good job on their CV, on their profile? Here are some things to avoid when you're having your photo. Don't resize your photo to make it squeeze and fit on LinkedIn. Use an original photo and make sure that your face is showing. You may see photos that looks fun, people while driving, people while fishing in LinkedIn. But as a junior person who is starting to get into the industry, that is not a good first photo. When you have your your startup and you have people working for you, then you really don't care what your picture look like. So save the fun photo for a few years from now, for when you are not looking for a job, but you are just trying to seem like a professional person. Yeah, and Vorse has a good tip here. Don't use a photo your friends will use to make fun for years. Yes, that's a good tip. The next important part is, apart from the headline that I explained, is the about section. So photo, headline, and about section. That's 80% of your work there. The rest, people will just skim through. These 3 portions, recruiters will look into. In about section, you have 10 seconds, 15 seconds to grab the attention of your reader. If they're browsing through one profile after another profile, and you start just chattering about your university and don't say your passion or your goal, they're just gonna skip over your LinkedIn profile and go to the next. You need your passion, you need something engaging, and make sure that you avoid third person. Here's my CV, here's my about section, that for if people wanted to contact me about fundings, about grants, I have written down what I'm trying to do, what I'm passionate about, what I'm doing now. In your case, I have a couple of examples here. Yeah, Michael has a good one-liner. Yes, that is engineering and nerd dedicated to have a better understanding within the electrical engineering field. Having a gimmick of some kind is not a bad idea, but again, maybe save it for your second job. Let's stay in this strict mode of explaining for now. There are a few templates that are, there are a few examples that you can have in the link that I have shared here. It says best LinkedIn summary example for students. It has a couple of engineering students too. Here's a very good one that I like. The first sentence, grab the attention. I solve problems in creative ways. And then it explains where that person is studying at Texas A&M. They are in their senior year and they know what they are passionate about. They want to apply modern strategies to classical problems. A few lines on what they have achieved, where they have experience in, and what they are passionate for. So if I'm a company if I'm a startup that I'm looking for someone who has worked on PCBs, I might contact this person. They have done prototyping, they're passionate about it, they have some experience, summer internship, told me even before I have reached the experience portion, which is very interesting for me. So this grabs my attention, and I love that they have stayed professional and they have given me all the information I have read. I assume that this person is very responsible, is very efficient, and I'm excited to know more about this person. Here's another example. I like this one because it has contact information. I'm a fan of having contact information in the about. It's usually hard. People are reluctant to contact you in LinkedIn because of all the scams and all the friend requests, all the connection requests that exist. If you have your email there, people tend to contact you easier. They know that this is something that is going to get to you. This summary says that I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and now found myself at the last year a student of the world's best university, Oxford at Computer. They have explained about their university. They are explaining what they're doing, their master, they're working on the thesis. I know the topic of the thesis. I know that they have worked at the startups. So this is very interesting. They have some sort of experience and they want to find a remote position. So again, all the information that I needed, this first sentence, very intriguing. I like the cozy sense of the them telling me where they have grew up and now that they're kind of further from home. And again, this portion, this about portion goes beside, when you're editing your profile, goes into the about section. So for our second task today, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to write a summary for 4-5 sentences. You can have any of the template. I can send you this link. To look for more example if you wanted to. And again, you guys are going to have all these slides after this section. So let's go. It's now 6:24. I'm gonna wait till 6:26, 6:27, so you can write down a few lines of summary for yourself. And you can send it to me privately. If you want everyone's attention, you can send it publicly and we can read and discuss it. Someone asked if the recording will be posted. Yes, IEEE will post the recording of this session for everyone. All right, I got a couple.
Sorry, mine is pretty long.
Yes, yeah, no. This is like the maximum, but it's still good. So I got one that starts like, I like to solve problems through unique and innovative ways. That's a very good sentence. I really like this sentence. One of you sent me a paragraph and it says, my passion for electrical engineering started in my freshman year of college when I created an Arduino-based robotic hand controlled by hand gesture. That's a very good sentence to include in your about. That says a lot of things. That you are expert in an Arduino, in robotics, and this is a very hot topic in the industry now. So if many recruiters who see this will say, all right, this is something that match my background. So more, did you have anyone else written something? It's good to include a couple of the high points of your studies, a project, leading a group. It's good to have a couple of them, maybe just in phrases, abbreviated, but it's a good idea to include them. And before moving forward, let me show you how you can access this section. So when you're in your profile, by clicking on these pencils, you can edit your profile. The About section is right here. And you can have, you can move the summary or the about that you have written right here. To change your headline, to change your name, to change your last education, you need to click on the pencil next to your picture. Right, I'm gonna wait for 30 more seconds for more abouts, more summaries, and then move forward. Yeah, another good sentence is, I enjoy creating circuits and see how the electrical components work together. This is better for an internship because it kind of implies you don't have that much experience, but if you're applying for an internship, this is a good sentence to include. It shows that you're passionate. I got another one.
Would it be better to look for internships first to get my foot in the door, sort of speak?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
should I like just try and full on try and apply for jobs more or less?
So I have applied for a few friends, and for myself, it's never a long shot to apply for jobs too. You never know. Have your focus on the internship, but if you saw something matching your profile strongly, do go for it. There is
Okay.
almost always there's nothing to lose. If you got contacted by a company that you think you are in no way ready for interview, and I'm talking about bigger companies like Apple, Netflix, and Microsoft. If you ruin an interview for Apple, there may be some consequences. Nobody is sure of, but people tend to be conservative about that. But if it's for a like mid-range company, go for it. There is no consequences.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
So I got a couple of more summaries. I'm a junior year electrical engineering student at Cal State Long Beach, where I'm proactively involved in multiple clubs and team projects. Very, very good. Shows where you at, what university you are in, and you are a team player. If I was looking for a team player, you have a focus on that. You have shared your experience in VHDL, Arduino, AutoCAD, and LTSpice, and you have shared your best traits, self-motivated, accuracy-oriented, so very nice. The other one goes as, I'm passionate about control system, especially in manufacturing and industry. I have extensive experience in many interdisciplinary fields of design. I'm not seeing your picture, but it may be extensive is a strong word. Maybe you have extensive experience. But when I read extensive experience, I'm gonna assume like someone who has more than 5 years of experience. And I got another one, a very good one, who have mentioned that they have managed team and fixed discrepancy. They have 8 years of experience. So very, very well written. All right. Oh, so worse. Good. You do have extensive experience. Very good. After the headline, again, after the summary, we are 80% done. You need to put 80% of your power, your efficiency in picture, headline, summary. After that, you can move to just stating the facts, having what's your experiences, what is your education, proud of your education, no matter where you have studied. It's for most of the people, it doesn't really matter where you have studied, as long as you show good experience, you show good that you're an expert in what you are doing, you are good to go. On experience, I'm going to tell you about the STAR method to write down your experience. We don't want to just write down what you do in the company or what experience you have. We want to use a method called the STAR method, so we can tell recruiter in a very efficient way what we have done, what we have achieved, how long we have been doing the job, what are our achievements, and be very short about, be not get much time from the recruiter. Be very patient. Then LinkedIn, when you update it or fill it, it's gonna be a headache because there is so much to fill. Don't try to fill it out in one sitting. Be patient for it. Have 10 core skills, 10 skills that you're gonna have up there, and you are gonna encourage your friends to endorse your skills. One good way to do so is to go into other people's, your friends' profile and endorse their skills. If they have been on a MATLAB course with you and they have done a good job, endorse their MATLAB. If you are having a classmate that you're working on a robotic team with, go into their profile and endorse their skills. Endorsing your skill, again, is gonna help LinkedIn algorithm to highlight your profile to the recruiter. So be generous with the endorsing and don't be afraid to ask for endorsement. If you were tired of going through Facebook and TikTok, maybe in a day, sit down and go through your friend's profile, endorse them, and message them and ask for endorsement. Hey, Toby, can you endorse me on some of my skills I'm trying to do to hunt an internship in the summer? This is how it should look like after a few years, when you need to have that 10 skills that is very related to your background really highlighted. When you're asking people for endorsement, maybe don't ask for endorsement on Excel, ask for endorsement on the skills and soft or hard skill. It doesn't really matter. The one skill can be good at management, good at managing team. One skill can be your software. So problem solving is another good skill that you can include here. So you don't be afraid to include your soft skill here. Don't be afraid to include the software that you know here. Endorse people and ask for endorsement. If you have publication patents, it's good to have them. When you're putting your courses, don't include all the courses that you have taken. Again, the few higher level courses that you're proud of, that you want someone asking you about the courses, and the few courses that is really related to your major. You don't want to include your general education. You don't need to include that small summer courses that you pass just to have the course requirement for graduation. But we need that project-oriented courses that you can talk about a lot when the recruiter asks you. And on publications, again, if you take a course like the course that I'm gonna do next time, you can, so far the self-publication website like Archive or Glassdoor are getting more common when you can have other people peer review your article. So that's not a bad idea. If you had a paper as an outcome of a course, you can upload that in Glassdoor, in Archive, or in ResearchGate, not Glassdoor. I was wrong about the name. ResearchGate or Archive, upload it there and include it as a publication. If you can talk about it, if it's related to your major, it's not a bad idea to include it. On honors and award, try to include those that is related to your traits. You can include awards that shows you're hardworking, that shows you being a hard worker. Even if the award is not related to your major, it's for another contest outside of the university. When time passes and you get more and more honors and awards, but automatically this less important one is gonna be omitted and neglected. If you know any other language, that's a very good idea to include it. There are many companies that are comfortable with multi people who work in different languages. Having a different language is a very good skill. Include any language that you are intermediate in. You can define the proficiency too. And as one of the more important points, include the organization that you are working with. We are electrical engineering. Almost all of us need to be members of IEEE, the branch, and the greater IEEE. So the IEEE that will send you emails. The application for a student is like $30 per year, but it's a good thing to have that IEEE membership shown on your profile. IEEE holds many workshops, gives you certificate for that workshop. That certificates, again, are going to be shown in LinkedIn. So if you're not a member of like the bigger IEEE, it's not a bad idea to become a member of if you're job hunting. And proofread your CV and your LinkedIn file. When someone sees an error in one of your sentences, they're just going to be latched on that error. So make sure that you use programs such as Grammarly, or have your CV read by a trusted friend, a professor, a mentor. And again, don't be afraid to ask people to proofread your CV or give comments on your CV. I'm going to talk about it in networking too. There are many ways that you can improve your CV by sending it out to people who work at places that you wish to work in. Just send them your CV, say that, hey, I'm interested in working in your company. Can you take a look at my CV and suggest a few ways that I can improve it? This is like one of the greatest connection hacks that you can have while applying for jobs. Maybe they even like your CV and ask for an interview. You never know. The most important things that you need to pay attention to is the company's name or the person name that you're contacting in. This applies for when you have your cover letter, when you have your when you're entering then your name in job application and in your CV. There has been many times that I have written a cover letter, it has been a template, and I have forgotten to change the name of the position or the person. And make sure that you know the difference between you are there. It's these errors are the things that neater people are really sensitive to, and they tend to get latched on these points. One other very important point is having a good LinkedIn URL. By default, your LinkedIn URL is gonna look like a number, very messy, but you can change the LinkedIn URL to have it be your name, or be your name and date of birth, be your name and CSULB. You can change and edit your profile LinkedIn by clicking right here, edit public profile and LinkedIn URL. You can change it. If it is taken by some other person, it's gonna let you know. Add a number, add a date, but don't let it be the default LinkedIn profile URL. The default one, if you take a look at your LinkedIn now, is just a long line of numbers, and you don't want this long number to be the thing that you send to other people. Again, here is how you can change your LinkedIn profile. I'm not gonna play this video here. I'm gonna make sure that this link is included in the slides that I'm gonna share for you. So you can watch it to know some LinkedIn etiquette, but right now we have come to how to connect to people, your peers, and how to talk to them. There is a question in chat. Let me check this out. It says that for the profile your URL, would you recommend putting your legal name or your nickname? What you want the recruiter to tell you. If you have a name that is harder for a recruiter to pronounce, it's not a bad idea to have your nickname there, or a name that is easier to pronounce by the recruiter. When they ask you, so may I call you blah, 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 you don't want to correct them. You tend to say, yes, of course, and you don't want to torture them. So it's not nickname. If it's not an unprofessional one, it's good. It's good to include your nickname. And there was another question. Can I put a random initial to make my name stand out, since my name is very common? I think as long as you don't have a negative thing in the search, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your name isn't found. It's when you start working on a company and have your personal website, your name is gonna climb up that Google. So it doesn't matter if your name is not on the first page of Google. If something negative is on the first page of Google about you, that is concerning. If there is nothing and there are all bunch of other people, it's totally fine. So to connect to your peers, again, if you have your LinkedIn profile and your friends are just your peers and your students, that's not an effective LinkedIn. You need to start adding people who have your background and you like to be them in the next 10 years. So go to the company websites that you dream to work on. Find people who seem more active on LinkedIn, maybe not that senior, people who doesn't seem to work on computer much, but people who are like 5 years, 10 years ahead of you. Add them on LinkedIn. Don't add people without sending a personal message. You can say that, hey, I'm a student at CSULB. I'm starting to job hunt. My background is close to you. I would love to have you in my connections. People tend to like that. People tend to see that you have include a compliment. You have a great background. I wish to work in this company in 5 years as you do. People are going to tend to enjoy compliments. So be positive when contacting them, and you're going to get a lot of connections back. Again, one great hack is to send them your CV. Say that I'm starting to apply for your company. Here's my CV. If you have any suggestion on how I can improve my CV to match your company profile, I really appreciate it. And then you can include, and if you see any open position, maybe you can refer me. Don't be shy about it. Again, nothing to lose. If that's someone who gets a lot of people asking them for a referral, they're just gonna ignore you. If they give you a chance, if they look at your CV, they have done something for you that costs hundreds of dollars, costs a resume specialist. So don't be afraid to send connection. Again, be sure to have a personal message. Don't look like a spam robot. Compliment them in some way. Compliment their last post. Maybe try to like their last post if their profile is public. And don't get too personal. Don't give out personal comments about their appearance, their age. Again, LinkedIn is very professional. You can only compliment them on their certificates, on their work, on their experiences, not on anything, not on personal matters. And don't be offended if someone ignored you. Don't get latched on people. There are plenty of people who work on great companies. Message someone else. Don't stalk someone. Don't keep messaging them if they didn't acknowledge you the first time. Maybe let two or three be the maximum of the number that you connect. Send a connection request. Don't keep sending connection requests. Have a template message, but personalize it. And again, examples are in the LinkedIn page, in the link. If you are working with a professor, if you're working with a researcher or your internship, it's not a bad idea to ask for a recommendation letter on LinkedIn. Some companies or grad school need to have separate recommendation letter, but the recommendation letter that you have on LinkedIn can last for years. So if this is like the last few weeks that you are working with a researcher, you're working with a professor, ask them to write a letter of recommendation. If you don't want to be that much trouble, you can suggest that you can provide headlines or template to them. But a recommendation letter from people that you have done work with is your right. You are more than deserving to get a recommendation letter. And you don't want to postpone it too much later when you don't have a good connection to someone anymore. Recommendation on a profile goes a long way. Again, when LinkedIn is putting names one next to each other for the recruiter through its automatic algorithm, recommendations are among the things that LinkedIn tend to look into when sorting out people. And there are many LinkedIn groups that you can join, groups for electrical engineering, groups for the companies that you like. Add the companies that you like on LinkedIn. They're going to give you updates on if they're hiring. They're going to give you personalized link for applications sometimes. Add important conferences or important communities in electrical engineering. If you are on power system, you must know what community of power is in IEEE. I know that my background is circuit design. My community is named SSCS, Solid State Circuit Group. Make sure to add IEEE, make sure to add groups that are related to electrical engineering. And one more important point, while you are a CSULB student, while you are a Cal State student, make sure to use Lynda, the LinkedIn Learning Platform. It has free certificated courses for many backgrounds on power. Having that course badge on your LinkedIn is a nice addition, is a nice color for addition. And it's gonna let recruiters that you have added know that you're getting more and more certified and more experience in your background. So make sure to go to in your SSO page, single sign-on page, go to Lynda, search your background, search electrical engineering, machine learning, programming. You're gonna see many certificated courses pop up. I know that it's like toward the end of semester, you are very busy. Summer is gonna be here soon. In that gap between summer classes and courses that you had in the spring, it's not a bad idea to experience some of these courses. Some of them are very fun. I did detailed. One of the courses that I did was circuits for biomedical engineering for an article that I was working on, and the person who was giving out details on it was a more senior guy who was working on wearable devices. He was so experienced and he was so fun when he was talking. So it was more like a podcast and less like a course. And again, like many social medias, LinkedIn is full of scams. If someone is trying to hire you in LinkedIn message platform, that is a scam. That doesn't happen. If someone is trying to sell you something in return for something, don't fall for it. Don't buy anything on LinkedIn messages. If someone has contacted you with a creepy message complimenting your look, block them. If they don't understand that LinkedIn is not a dating app, but a professional website, they don't deserve to be in your connections. So stay professional and expect professional people in your LinkedIn. Don't answer people with creepy messages. Don't get into arguments. Stay professional and stay away from LinkedIn scams. Don't give out your information like social security or bank account information in LinkedIn. Sometimes someone will contact you and they look like a recruiter. They're gonna say that, all right, I'm gonna give you this job description and you answer these questions. Do you want to work in blah, blah, blah? Do you have experience in this? They're gonna ask you a few questions and they're gonna tell you, all right, your profile matches. Please give me your social security number so I can check your background. No one has social security numbers on LinkedIn. If it's such a small company that doesn't know how to go through hiring process, you don't really want to work for them. So don't give out information apart from your professional information on LinkedIn messages. All right, the last thing that I'm going to mention here, and again, all that I have said here applies to your CV too on your about section. Before I go to my last point, I'm going to send you a couple of CV templates. Go in explaining what the STAR method is. And that's going to be it for today.
Thank you so much, Ava. That was awesome. Does anyone have any questions before we stop the recording?
Yeah, I'm going to go through one more point before waiting for question. So just a minute till I send this 2 templates. All right, so the last thing is a STAR method. Again, I have a video here The link is included in my slides, so check this one out. A STAR method is when you address situation, task, action, and result. All of this needs to be included in the line of experience that you write down. What was the company that you were working on? What was the task that you were assigned to? What is the action you did, and what did you achieve? As an example, here's a design project that one of my students did. I designed a DIY heart rate monitoring system as a part of senior design project that measured and displayed heartbeat using Arduino. So I have the situation, it's a design of a heart rate problem. The task was my senior design project. The action, what the action and the result is that I measured and displayed heartbeat using Arduino. You need to include this method in every experience that you write down on your CV. When you're writing down experiences for different design projects, for different courses, for different internship, make sure that you follow this STAR method. And again, I have templates of sending messaging to recruiters in my slides, and don't be afraid to create your own opportunities. That's it for me. So any questions?
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, if there aren't any questions, we can sit on for a little bit, but I want to thank everyone for coming. That was a great workshop. That was really informational. That was really good. Thank you so much, Ava.
You are good, and good luck, everyone. If anyone wanted a CV review or LinkedIn review, contact me personally. I would be happy to help you out.
Thank you. Hopefully we have some people utilizing. That was awesome. You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.